At breakfast, Mom said, "Your sister's twins will take your room. They need more space to grow." As I opened my mouth, Dad slammed his glass and said, "Agree or get out of this house." I just nodded. A week later, I bought the house next door, watched them fall apart, and said good morning every day. I was halfway through my eggs when Mom dropped it casually. "Sophie's twins need your room. Growing babies need space, and you're just one person." I set my fork down. "That's my room. I've lived there for 18 years. Dad's glass hit the table so hard I thought it shattered. "Agree or get out of this house." The room went silent. Sophie smirked from across the table, one hand on her belly like she was already queen. Mom gave me that look, the one that said, "Don't make this difficult." I nodded once. Okay. But as I walked out that morning, I remembered something important. I'd been saving for years, working 2 jobs through college, living at home to build my nest egg while Sophie bounced from crisis to crisis, always bailed out by Mom and Dad. I had options. By Monday, I'd toured 3 properties. By Wednesday, I'd made an offer. The house next door, the one Mr. Peterson had been trying to sell for months, needed work but had good bones. More importantly, it had a clear view into our kitchen window. I closed escrow in 9 days, all cash. I watched from my new living room window as Dad carried boxes up to my old room. Sophie directed traffic like a general, pointing at my childhood furniture being hauled to the curb. My desk where I'd done homework, the bookshelf Dad had built when I was 7, all of it marked for trash. Mom saw the moving truck next door and came outside, confused. She walked over as movers unloaded my new couch. "What are you doing?" she asked. Her face went pale. "We meant leave your room, not leave the house entirely. Dad said get out of this house, so I did. I'm just next door now." I waved pleasantly and went inside. That evening, I sat on my new porch with coffee, watching their kitchen through the window. Dad paced angrily. Mom's hands flew as she argued. Sophie looked panicked. The next morning, I was watering my new lawn when Dad stormed over. I said, adjusting the sprinkler, "I like it here. Don't be ridiculous. You bought a whole house out of spite?" "I bought a house because I needed one. You made that clear at breakfast." His jaw clenched, but he couldn't argue. He'd literally told me to get out. Within a week, the cracks showed. Sophie's twins arrived, and suddenly 2 screaming infants filled the house at all hours. I could hear them through the walls. These paper-thin, 1,970 seconds walls between our properties. Dad started sleeping in his car some nights. Mom looked exhausted, dark circles under her eyes as she carried crying babies at 3 a.m. Every morning, I'd step onto my porch with coffee, perfectly rested, and wave. "Good morning." Mom would flinch. Dad would glare. Sophie stopped coming outside entirely. 2 months in, Dad knocked on my door at midnight. "We need help. Sophie can't afford childcare. Your mother's back is giving out. You need to come watch the twins during the day." "I have a job," I said calmly. "The one I work to pay my mortgage. Family helps family. Family respects family," I replied. "You wanted me gone. I'm gone. Good night, Dad." 3 months later, Sophie moved out, back to her ex's apartment, unable to handle the twins alone in that cramped house. Mom and Dad were stuck with a room full of baby furniture they displaced me for, and no grandchildren to fill it. I expanded my garden, installed a privacy fence, and lived my life. Every single morning, I'd see them through that kitchen window, looking miserable and trapped in the house they'd chosen over me. And every single morning, I'd smile and wave, "Good morning." Some lessons can only be taught from the house next door.